Roadhouse is an affiliate of Amazon. So if you click on a link in the description, I may get a commission. Thank y'all. Today on the Roadhouse, I'm going to show you some POR-15 things that I did on the Nova. Let's get it started. Roadhouse is sponsored by J&S Off-Road Addict with Roadhouse, where we rent Polaris Razors for you to drive on an off-road park at S'more in Seymour, Missouri. Speedy's Industrial Coatings, where they take care of all your media blasting and powder coating needs, industrial or anything you got, big or small, they do it all. Finley River Towing, where they take care of any of your towing from Springfield, Missouri, all the way down to Harrison, Arkansas. And 417 Graphics. 417 Graphics takes care of all of my decals, and they take care of a lot of my banners and stuff for the Roadhouse. Thank you for J&S Off-Road and 417 Graphics for being new sponsors. I'm going to do this little experiment for you in the back of my Nova. This is, it's not as bad as what it looks. It's kind of eaten up, but it's rather smooth. It's not like all crusty. There's some spots here, and there's a little crackage here, but it's still a really strong floor. I mean, it's not going to hold your transmission if you put it in the back gear, most likely, if you drop it in this spot. But what I'm doing is I'm going to want to drive this car for a little bit before I do a lot of the main work on it. So I'm going to go ahead and POR-15 this floor in my trunk to see if it helps with the strength of it. Now, I know it's going to fill up a lot of the little tiny holes. I just want to see what it will do as far as smoothing it up according to its self-leveling and all that type of stuff. So I'm going to put it in the back here for you. I've gone over this with several different types of wire wheels, a cup wire wheel, which is on my drill now, and then I went over it with several of these little type pads and stuff like that, because I just want to get it down to basically where the POR-15 would have a good surface to stick to. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in, and we'll see what it looks like. Now, the one thing you're going to have to deal with POR-15 is use a brush that you're not going to clean up, that you're going to throw away. Buy some little cheapy little brushes, because you're just going to throw this whole stuff away anyway. Now, this can is used, so hopefully it'll open up for me. And whenever you use POR-15, make sure you get all the excess out of the little lip, because if you don't, this top lid will solidify to the can. I think I did a fairly good job. You can look in other videos of mine for more POR-15 videos that I've done. I think I have a whole entire playlist just for POR-15. Now, I didn't get it perfect. Okay, what I also got in the last few days is this AMD Auto Metal Direct. I'll leave a link down in the description. I got the inner fender well for the front passenger side. I've been missing it. I've been trying to find one for years that was used, and I could not find one whatsoever at all. I ran across it when I was messing around on looking for 70 Nova parts on Amazon, and I found it. And I was really excited to get it in a day and a half. I'm telling you, when you deal with Amazon on some products that they might have close to you, look at when it delivers. You can order it and get it for the weekend project if you order it like on Thursday. Man, this was really nice. Really appreciate it from Amazon. It came pretty dang packed. These are all staples. Got some bubble wrap on the inside of it. Not exceptionally thick bubble wrap, but it does look pretty good. It is from General Motors restoration parts, GM restoration parts. The finish is really nice on it. But what I like to do with these when I get them is I like to go ahead and take a red Scotch-Brite pad, sand it down some, and then put POR-15 on top of it. Makes me know that I'm not going to have to worry about it nearly as much. Last time I POR-15 one of these inner fenders, it did not self-level as much as it does on everything else that I've used it on. So you might have to go ahead and put another coat of sand it down before you paint it. You couldn't actually probably leave it on there with just the POR-15 because it does have a little bit of few striations on it when I put it on with a brush. Most of everything else that I've ever used POR-15 on, it doesn't show the brush marks because it self-levels. I'm not sure why inner fenders do that. Maybe because the whole entire thing is completely round. I have no idea. We'll see what it looks like when it dries. Now some of you are going to ask, why on earth would I put POR-15 on a fender? Now the paint was completely gone off the fender. And I went ahead and it had been sanded down probably 10 times or so. So I went ahead and put this POR-15 on to see how well the self-leveling goes inside the paint to where it might be a little bit easier for me to work on. Plus I have a rust barrier between my paint and my metal fender. So this might turn out to be pretty well, might not. But like I said, I'm gonna do most of this car myself besides the roof. And after that, I'm going to drive it around for a few years after I paint it and stuff. So if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. This self-leveling stuff, it might work really well. What I also got off of Amazon was a battery tray and a battery hold down clamp from AMD. I also got these brass battery connections from Amazon as well. So I'm getting a lot of the parts that I'm going to be needing from Amazon. You can always check down in my description for the links. Now this looks absolutely amazing from a distance, but if you get close up on it, you can see that it's not perfect. Now it's not near dry, and I've got a few little things landing in it, but I'll show it to you when it's completely dry. Now this up here, the front here, that's where the Nova's battery tray goes, and it's also where the acid ends up eating through the paint and then starts rusting out the metal. So I wanted to make sure that I got definitely a high-end protection on the front end of this thing, especially because of that. Okay, I've decided that this driver's side fender was better than the one that I ended up getting. Plus this is an original fender, so I went ahead and put citrus strip on it to take off all the yellow paint, which I guess RC would be really proud that he still can see a little bit of yellow, but not for long. So the yellow is on its way out on this extra fender. And if you've been following the videos, I've got a playlist for the Nova, and all of the videos are in there. And this car was originally a Cortez silver car with black vinyl top with all the trim. Of course, there's a 396 SS. We do not know which version of the 396 SS it was, the 375 or the 350 horsepower. I'm guessing the 350 horsepower because we ran into some fuel lines, which I'll show you here. There's some fuel lines right there. One of them's a lot bigger, one of them's a lot smaller. If you have a 350 or 375, I'm sorry, if you have a 375 horsepower car, 396, you're going to only have the big line that runs from the carburetor all the way back. You will not have a return line because you have a Holley carburetor. If your car came from the factory with a quadrajet, then more likely this is your scenario, and you have a 350 horsepower 396 SS. Okay, I left it out all night long, and it's got a few little spots in it, but it is shiny. It's turned out pretty dang good. I didn't expect it to turn out awesome. There's some spots in here. I mean, this is POR-15. It's not your paint. And I probably got it a little thin there and there. So, looks really nice. Before anybody thinks that I'm going to use this as paint, I am not. What I'm doing is I'm using it as an underlayer for my bodywork and my paint to go on top of it. That way I have rust proof right up next to the metal. So you can see there's little spots in here, and you can feel those as well. But once I sand them down and then put a top coat on there, that'll work really well until I get ready to paint this thing. So this will be fine. Over here you see I got all of the paint off. The yellow paint is 99% gone. Damage here, but I like this fender better than the one that's on it. Plus it's the original fender, so I'm kind of wanting to keep it and maybe take this portion out of the other fender and put it on here. See what Shaker Racing says about that. And other than that, the other body panel that was ready was the door. And got a lot of stuff done in the shop today. Not necessarily everything was Nova, but we're working on it. This fender here has a big old dent here. It's got a lot of holes that need filled here. And then it's got rust on the bottom here. So that other fender doesn't have any rust. This section is really good of this fender. So we'll see what Alan says at Shaker Racing, what he says about it. Here is the inner fender for the passenger side. where the battery tray is going to end up being. This turned out really, 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 really nice. Can't see how shiny it is. There's a few little flaws in it because it was brushed on, but if you followed any of my my POR-15 videos, you can tell that it self-levels for the most part. So it really does look really nice. We are really trying to get everything done in the shop here at the Roadhouse. It's a total disaster. Appreciate everybody for watching, liking, subscribing. And as always, if you ride her hard, don't put her away wet. This 1970 Nova 396 Super Sport is put away wet a long time ago. Thank you for watching.